Welcome to the Ripple Podcast.
The podcast where we tell you stories about strange and unusual events and the ripples they create.
AKA the story after the story.
I'm Rosa.
And I'm Angela.
And this is the Ripple Podcast.
Get Ripple, the bright new drink with that ring-a-ding flavor, Ripple.
Welcome
To our little show.
called The Ripple.
Am I supposed to be completing your sentences?
Sure.
Podcast.
I know we did 2 stories last time, but I don't remember who started, who ended.
I go first this week.
How do you know?
Because the last one we did was Disney. Oh, I remember because you were super tired at the end of the night and you were not impressed with my brain eating amoeba story. And I wanted more of a reaction out of you.
I was too busy singing My Little Mermaid
I
songs.
was singing Big River Country.
Okay.
Well,
We're back to our Wednesday night schedule.
And I brought you a drink tonight.
I'm already drinking it.
Do you understand its connection to the theme?
Not at all.
Really?
It's it from Georgia.
No.
Is
Well, first,
the
Should
person's...
we tell them what our theme is this week?
Oh, yeah. Let's start there.
Okay, go for it.
So this week's theme we pulled last week, online romances.
Dating, online hookups gone wrong.
Right.
And so this again is from Grocery Outlet like it is every single week. It's,
Not sponsored.
They should be. Mighty Swill, Let's Play Peach
Spritzer.
Spritzer. Oh, that's why it's sweet.
I got it and I thought it was a seltzer and I've been drinking it.
I'm like, dang, this is like super sweet. It's a spritzer. It's a wine spritzer.
I still don't get the connection.
Okay. It's a peach. And when you're texting or messaging,
Oh, it's an ass. Got it.
it's a peach emoji.
You should have got something eggplant flavored as well.
Yeah, that wouldn't taste as good though.
Just because we're doing drinks, and I know it's not my story yet, but we do have another guest in our Podseum tonight.
Yeah, he's making me really uncomfortable.
It's my little brother and Angela's big brother, Eric. And I brought a drink. So, Eric, I don't know if you even know this, but each week we have a story and we have to bring a drink that somehow relates to our story. And this is what I brought. Dun, 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 dun.
Rum.
This is one of Eric's Christmas presents to me. It's this super fancy rum, and it's called Bumbu, but it sounds to me like Bumble.
Oh.
Like the dating site?
I thought it was like bum like an ass, and both of our drinks were going to represent butts.
Oh, no.
Like
Nope.
Bumble.
But like Bumble, like the,
Okay. All right.
the hookup. So
I get it.
when we pour shots, we'll have to make sure that Eric gets one too.
Oh, God. I'm not doing shots again.
You have to.
That ended really badly last time.
So if we ever get super famous and we release the unreleased files, that's going to be my favorite episode ever. Is when Angela's slurring her words.
When I couldn't say the word homicide. Homicide. Homicide? Homicide.
Yeah. Okay, so this week's story. Hookups. Oh, not hookups.
They could be
Online
hookups. Sure. Mine are
relationships gone wrong.
hookup. Yes.
All right, tell me a story.
I get to go first this week, which I'm super happy about because then I just get to drink and listen once I'm done.
And
All
I will
right.
pour you a shot of rum.
Yes, and then I don't have to worry about slurring. Okay. Here we go. So my story takes place in May of 2006. And this is when 30-year-old Michael Willis from Lakeland, Florida. What, are you signaling to me something?
Not at all.
Oh.
I feel like
You're doing like hand gestures.
I'm Italian. I'm trying to get comfortable.
So, Michael Willis from Lakeland, Florida was perusing some online dating sites looking for love when he started to chat up Show.
Oh,
I
I was right.
Yeah, and that was her screen name, aka Jolanda. Now Michael, his screen name, generic white male.
No.
Swoon. Are you like so ready for that?
I was all behind JoJo with the Bobo faux show.
Well, this is 2006, so this is
so
before
JoJo
with
probably
the
wasn't
Bobo.
even like born yet.
But keep that in mind.
Okay.
All right. So
Generic white
male and JoJo. They seem to hit it off, and she seemed interested in him. And
what side are they on?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
And this is back in 2006. So I don't really know if it's like the same services.
Maybe it was like an AOL chat room or something.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's one with screen names, and I don't think a lot of online dating sites have screen names. I don't know. Yeah,
You're asking the wrong person.
Right. Anyway, so he described himself on the chat as built good, but still cute though.
What? How did he spell though?
I don't know.
THO.
It could have been.
Okay.
I mean, he's a generic white male. So
Sure.
however they spell it. All right. So after chatting for a bit, they plan on meeting up. So Michael puts on his best Florida beachwear, which was a yellow wife beater.
What
Some
was it supposed to be yellow?
I was gonna say the same thing. I'm not sure if it was intentionally yellow or. If
I
it
have
just,
not
like,
seen
turned
a lot of yellow wife beaters before.
Well, have you been to Florida?
Nope.
All
We
right.
discussed that the last episode.
Yes, we did. Sorry, Florida. And that went along with his white linen shorts.
Oh, yuck.
And he headed to Fort Myers to meet up with his new honey. And when he arrived, Jolanda welcomed him into her house, and she offered him a plate of fresh chocolate chip cookies.
Wait, why is that the funniest thing? The yellow wife beater didn't make you laugh. The white linen shorts didn't make you laugh.
No.
But the fresh baked cookies?
Yeah. And he just started eating them up, and he's like, wow, these are great. They must be home baked. So Jolanda, she, went upstairs to get ready because they were going to go to the beach. And while he ate his cookies, in walked in our Lord and Savior, Chris Hansen.
What?
Because generic white male was not, in fact, a 30-year-old man. He was nearing 60.
What?
And JoJo was a 15-year-old decoy.
No.
Mm-hmm.
What?
So he's chomping away, eating his cookies, and Chris Hansen starts, giving him some questions, trying to figure out what was going on here. And he's like, oh, I'm just going to the beach, no big deal. And that's when Chris Hansen does what he is so famous for and pulls out the chat transcripts and awkwardly reads his way through generic white male's solicitation of sex
From a
with minor.
15-year-old.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sick.
Yep.
Ew.
Mm-hmm. So, generic white male's like, you know what? I don't really want these cookies anymore.
You can have them back.
You can have them. And he heads out the door, and things are just not going well for him at all. Because as he's walking out the door, he trips down the porch steps.
No. Do they have this on video?
They do.
That's
I watched
amazing.
it
Yes.
multiple times.
Uh-huh.
Again and again. And then once he finally stables himself and he's back up on his feet, he is just crash tackled
By
the
cops.
police
I love
and
it.
taken away in handcuffs.
Ew.
and-
He was 63?
Oh no, he was nearing 60.
Oh, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'll show you a picture. I mean,
I don't. Yeah.
I
Is
believe
he
has a
wearing?
glass eye.
Oh,
What?
he has a glass
I
eye?
think so.
Is he wearing the yellow wife beater?
Yes, in the
Oh,
picture.
yes. I need to see this
I
picture.
mean, yeah, I'll show you the full outfit.
Yes.
It's great. I think he might even have a fanny pack as well.
Oh, that's
I'm
even
not
better.
positive about that, but I'm pretty sure he did.
I'll pretend he does.
All right. Well, anyway, this is the story of the rise and fall of To Catch a Predator. So I took a little different twist on the whole online dating thing. But
Sure.
I mean, it totally is. It's people looking for hookups
Online. Yeah.
So I feel like it fits.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if you're like a true fan, and apparently, even though it's been off the air for years now, there's still like this cult following, and they call it TCAP. TCAP. To Catch a Predator.
Oh, got
Get
it. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it first aired in 2004 on NBC, and I can't even imagine like how that pitch went. Like, okay, this is our idea.
We're going to catfish some sick bastards
Creepos.
that are looking for little girls to hook up with.
And
Or
film
boys. Ew.
Yeah, girls and boys. Anyway, so the show was like a huge hit. It actually outperformed The Office and The Apprentice for primetime TV ratings. And during its time, it featured 12 different stings. So they had like houses in different areas, and that's where they would set up their sting house with their decoys, and that's where they would have the predators go, and that's where they would be arrested. And
Was it only Florida?
No, actually that was my next thing. So it was in New York, Washington, California, Ohio, Florida, Georgia, Texas, New Jersey, and Kentucky. They did a couple of them in California. One of them in Riverside. And I don't remember where they were.
I honestly have never watched the show.
Oh, it was really good. I remember watching it quite a bit, and it was like they need a word for it because it was super, super cringy and gross, but also so entertaining and funny at the same time, and like satisfying to see these creepos get arrested and just
I'll have to
tackled.
YouTube some of the old ones.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them out there. All right, so the craziest and like most fascinating / terrifying thing about TCAB is that it showed how many like just creepos were among us, and it wasn't like limited to like a certain type of person. Like you couldn't look at someone and be like, oh, that guy looks like a pedophile. There's all different ages and occupations. They arrested a New York City firefighter, a rabbi, doctors, high school teachers, a highway patrol officer, which that was in Riverside, and all kinds of other like just
technically normal people,
like people you would never expect.
All men.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was trying to look up to see if there was any like situations where they arrested women, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I believe it was all men. So how did they make this happen? And that would be to the help of an organization called Perverted Justice. And Perverted Justice started way before To Catch a Predator ever aired, and it was a group of these vigilantes that searched for people like this online. So they would just like set up an online profile of like a 15-year-old girl or a 13-year-old boy, and just like make this decoy online and just wait for people to start sending
So these are just average, like the don't fuck with cat people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, a lot like that. And their tagline is slamming wannabe pedophiles with a little perverted justice. So they would like find these people who were sending them dick pics or like other gross things, and they didn't like solicit it. They didn't put it out there. People just came to them, and then they would turn that information over to the police.
And the police were receptive to it
for the most part. Yeah. So they worked with a lot of different police departments that were, you know, they had an understanding, and they had the proper protocol of doing it, so it wasn't like entrapment or anything. And they had to use certain words and do it in a certain way so that evidence could actually hold up in court, because otherwise, like, what's the point? So though that was the organization that was hired to find the predators for To Catch a Predator. And they would, like I said, they had these decoy personas that they put out there. I already said all that. All right. So there was a little bit of criticism with Perverted Justice once they started working with To Catch a Predator. And that was that there's money involved at this point. So they're no longer just volunteer vigilantes. They're actually getting paid. And when there's money transferred, people start thinking like, oh, well, you have an incentive to go after people. And exactly. That was exactly my thought. And like, who cares? It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. But there was, because of the money being involved, there was several lawsuits that occurred with this. So let me find my place here. So one of the guys who I mentioned, the doctor, he hired an attorney after he was caught on the show being a creepo and soliciting sex from a minor. His name was Maurice Wolin, and he sued the Petaluma Police Department.
Hey, we've been there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I just realized that's the other California spot.
Petaluma.
All right.
We've been there.
And Perverted Justice over his arrest. And Xavier Von Erich, who is the head of Perverted Justice, and I don't think that's his real name, but maybe that's what he goes by. They implied that he had incentive to trap the doctor because he had, quote, a TV show to get on and a fancy doctor to arrest, and to ensnare in his web, and he would not let go.
he thought that he was only being targeted because he was a doctor and had lots of money.
That was like the theory the attorney was going with. I guess that's like the best thing he could come up with.
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty weak.
Yeah, exactly. And it didn't hold up. So the judge's response was, the preliminary hearing has been an attack on Petaluma Police Department and perverted justice. But every time I go back to the chats and I look at how he was grooming this 13-year-old girl, there was clearly sufficient cause to believe that Woolen committed these crimes.
Gross.
Yeah. So the show kept going on, and, there was controversy and there was critics, but, like, ultimately they were doing a good thing, and they had a super entertaining show, and it was doing well. It had great ratings. So the question is, why did To Catch a Predator disappear after only 2 fantastic years of humiliating people?
Because there's a lot of shows that are not entertaining and not doing good that last a hell of a lot more seasons.
Yeah, and I could watch pedophiles get crash tackled by police like all day long.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. So let me tell you what happened after I take a sip of my
Mighty swell.
peach drink.
Let's play Peach Spritzer.
All right. So this is where the ripple begins. Okay. So November 2006, To Catch a Predator, they were conducting a sting with law enforcement in Murphy, Texas. And they had a 4-day stint. The house was set up. They arrested 25 men, and that included a former police officer and a church music director. Those guys, they showed up to the house. They had their cookies with Chris, and they were taken away in handcuffs.
That should have been the name of this show.
Cookies with Chris. Oh, yeah. That would be a good one. They should do a spinoff with that. In Texas, among other states, you don't actually have to show up to the house to be charged with a crime. So in different states, there's like different things that are required in order for you to be charged as a creepo.
Okay.
And if you're just talking to this person and you're making sexual advances or sending them dick pics or whatever, you can still be charged. So there was a lot of people who they talked to while they were there that didn't actually show up to the house. So they turned that evidence over to the police.
Which, as it should be, I feel like just sending unsolicited pictures or comments or, stuff, especially to a minor, should be a
you're
crime.
A fucking creep. It's disgusting. So they turned over all the evidence they collected on these other predators that they didn't actually arrest on the spot. And one of those men was Kaufman County Assistant I can't talk.
Try it again.
Kaufman County Assistant District Attorney Louis W. Conrad.
Good job.
Jr.
Got it.
Okay. He was posing as a 19-year-old college student and engaged in sexually charged chats with Decoy posing as a 13-year-old boy.
Not okay.
Yeah, definitely not. So on August 5th.
My birthday.
Oh, wait, no, sorry.
Oh, it's not my birthday.
November.
Oh.
November 5th, 2006. Police obtained a warrant for the district attorney's arrest, assistant district attorney, and they went to his house, and who tagged along but the film crew for To Catch a Predator. And they stayed on, like, off private property, I guess, and they were filming, like, kind of from a distance, but they still, like, this was a big deal that this guy who had such an, like, esteemed position was doing this. So, of course, they're going to get it on camera. So, they knocked on the door. He didn't answer, but they knew he was inside because I guess he had picked up his newspaper earlier. So when he refused to open the door, they had the SWAT team make a tactical entry, which is kicking in the door.
Yes.
So then they found him inside of his house, and he was holding a Browning .38 handgun.
Oh, towards the police?
No. And
am I jumping ahead?
Yeah. So he turned to the police and he said...
Eric just did a little mimery back there.
What happened? I didn't see.
His guess.
Okay. He says, I'm not going to hurt anyone. And then he takes the handgun to his head and takes his own life. So NBC never outright said that this was the cause of the end of To Catch a Predator, but it was like ultimately like kind of assumed that was the reason.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I
it
could
didn't
see
exactly
that.
go the direction that they wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
So the following year, Conrad's sister filed a lawsuit against NBC Universal for $100 million.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I guess, I don't know if they had a preliminary hearing, but it was set to go before a jury trial, but instead it was settled out of court. And I don't know, I think if it would have gone before a jury trial, I kind of think that a jury would go with the side of the To Catch a Predator people.
I mean, that's the way I would initially think too, but who knows what the other, the sister's jury, or not, lawyer, would come up with.
And at the same time, even if they won, I think it would still be like super bad press, and it would look really, really bad.
Sure.
Because they would not only be like all of this would be out in the press all the time,
and it'd just be negative towards
and it would look really bad that like, okay, not only did this guy die, but now like his sister is
not
being
getting
put through the ringer as well. I don't know, they settled out of court.
Does it say what they settled for?
No, it does not. Probably quite a bit of money, because she was willing to walk away. And the show was over after that. It had a short run, and it will live forever on the world of YouTube. And that's the end of it. So where does that leave our boy Chris Hansen? In 2015, Chris Hansen announced that he had planned to release a new independent television show called Hansen vs. Predator. So he was going to take the whole idea of the show, and I guess he had some sort of permission to do it, or maybe
Chris with Cookies.
Chris with Cookies. He was going to do his own show, and he put it on Kickstarter, and he was looking for $400,000 to get this thing off the ground.
Which doesn't seem like too much for a show.
But he only got $89,000. So he didn't get the amount. And then on top of that, I guess when you pledge, you were supposed to get like memorabilia. You know how there's like different levels of pledging.
$100 will get you a T-shirt, and $400 will get you a signed autograph. Yeah.
And $1,000 will get you a plate of chocolate chip cookies
with Chris.
By Chris. All right. So he had all this merch that needed to go out, and he didn't have the money to send it out. So he actually wrote a bad check and was arrested.
Oh no, Chris.
Chris Hansen. But fortunately, he was able to sell the rights to Hansen's vs. Predator, and it's now on Crime Watch Daily, and you can check it out on YouTube. So he has a new version of the show, and I watched like 1 or 2 episodes of it.
Wait, is it with him?
It is with him. So it's the same sort of premise. They have the Predator show up, and he gets his cookies, and they have a little chat with him in the kitchen. But then they follow him to the police station, and then the police interview him, and you watch that interview as well.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's not a weekly thing. It's like kind of sporadic. But the latest news is that on October 9th, 2019, Hansen started his very own YouTube channel under the name Have a Seat with Chris Hansen, which I think you should email him and let him know that Have Cookies with Chris is a little bit better.
Wait, so I'm going to. You watch me.
Do it.
Is it his YouTube channel the same idea?
I don't really know. I think it's a little bit more than that, because its description says that it has podcasts tackling different topics and interviews with special guests.
Yeah, who would those guests be? Not predators.
It could be people who worked for Perverted Justice, or cops, or maybe predators. I don't know.
Is it? Did he launch it?
I think so.
Oh, we should check that out.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, because it says the channel's most recent investigation claims of pedophilia and grooming against YouTuber Onison. I don't know who that is.
I don't know YouTubers.
I don't follow YouTube drama at all. But apparently they went after YouTubers, so that could be interesting.
Huh. I will check that out, and I will pitch him my idea.
I think that'd be fantastic.
Can we make a shirt that says Cookies with Chris?
Yes.
Okay.
But maybe those are cookies that you would never really want to have.
I
don't know.
Well, I would like to have cookies with Chris, but I think bad people wouldn't.
I don't even want these cookies.
Take these cookies back. I don't want them anymore.
I'm going to the beach.
I'm just wearing my white linen shorts and yellow wife beater. Ew.
Oh man, it's sad, but that's the way it had to be. And that is the story of the rise and fall of To Catch a Predator with the great Chris Hansen.
Well, I like your spin on the theme. Good job.
Thanks.
Now let's do shots.
Oh God. Okay. Well, I don't have to talk anymore, so you'll just hear my slurring commentary on your story.
Grab our little glasses up there, Eric. Come up here. You bought me this drink. You need to come have a drink. I'm not gonna make you talk in the microphone. All you have to do is take a drink. Peer pressure. Ooh.
Do you like that I can watch you from the back of my head because there's a mirror on the wall
In our podseum.
and I can stare at you?
So here's our Bumble.
It's got floaters in it. Is it supposed to have that?
Yeah, it's from the cork. I pushed the cork too far and parts of the cork broke off.
Or you're taking swigs of it on
Or I
Christmas.
just drink it, after I brush my teeth. Salute. It's like a banana.
This is really good.
Isn't it?
It's tasty.
Eric? Okay. So, here's my story. Oh, before I do my story, you need to give your sources.
Oh, yeah. I had them written on the top of my page.
I believe
Did you.
you.
See them the entire time?
No.
I thought, I'll just write them right here and then I won't forget. So, of course, the great Wikipedia. And then perverted-justice.com. Oh, let me tell you about that site real quick. So they will post because sometimes, I don't know why, but they just keep this whole database of information of all of the transcripts that they've had with these perverts.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think it's just a way to humiliate them.
Good.
I don't know, but
I like it.
support it. I am here for it.
I agree.
And then finally, Video Head Trip, which is a really great YouTube channel.
I've never heard of that.
It's brand new, and they did an entire story about Chris Hansen, and it was really funny and really great, and you should check it out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with my sources since you just ended with yours. And the first one is freep.com. It's FREEP.com.
That's not a word.
It is now. My sources just get better.
Okay.
So then we have forumdaily.com.
All right.
Sounds legit, right?
Sure.
I have Bumble. And my last source, I can't even say this one without laughing. Cosmopolitan.com.
It's like unnecessary laughter, like when I started laughing over chocolate chip cookies. I thought that as soon as I said that, I guess you've never watched the show, but I thought that as soon as I said that the chocolate chip cookies, that you would know exactly what was going on.
No.
Did you know when I said chocolate chip cookies?
Have you watched? Oh. Well, I sourced Cosmo. So that, yeah. So my story is about a guy named Eric Larson. And he was 54 at the time. He is divorced after being married for 20 years. He received a friend request from a lady in January of 2018. So this isn't that long ago.
And this was on the Facebook?
This is on the Facebook.
Okay.
He didn't know her. Like, oh, yeah, I know that guy from high school. I totally recognize that name. But maybe he saw her picture and just thought she looked like a nice girl or whatever. Or he was just lonely. I mean, he had been recently divorced after 20 years. So he accepted her friend request. He said that she seemed really nice, and she'd send pictures of herself all dressed up pretty for church.
Like to him specifically, or post them?
They started like messaging each other, and it didn't really say like maybe he messaged her at the beginning and said like, "Hey, do I know you?" Or how that messaging got started.
Can I tell you really quick?
So no. What?
So I get message requests all the time. Like
friend requests?
No. Like when they're not friends with you.
Oh, like in the other file.
Right. I get that, and then I get them on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they're always like these creepy old men, and I'm totally like stereotyping because they look like creepy old men. So my favorite thing to do is respond with, "That's my purse. I don't know you," and then block them.
Are you what? Are you serious?
Yeah. Do you know what I'm referencing?
No.
Oh, do you not watch King of the Hill?
Not in like 10 years.
Oh, you don't remember when Bobby took the self-defense course and it was all for women? And that was what they would yell before
I know.
they would kick him in the balls?
I know that's not my chair, not my problem.
Oh, that's my purse. I don't know you.
Did you know that one, Eric? Oh, he knows all these references.
Maybe he should be a podcast
Maybe
partner.
he should be on here with us.
He'd laugh at my jokes, maybe.
Okay. I'll pretend to laugh. I totally got that. Oh, he just sent a text message with Bobby Hill. He's telling me to look at my phone. And it says, oh, I almost said your whole name, Eric. But I won't. I don't know you, is what Bobby says on this little gif.
And then he kicks him in the balls.
Now, I liked King of the Hill, but I haven't watched it for a really long time.
Oh, that's it. Iconic episode.
I'll have to look that up, too. Add it to my must-see TV list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back to Eric Larson, 54, divorced after 20 years, just made a new friend on Facebook that's sending pretty pictures of her dressed up for church. And he says that they exchanged selfies back and forth of each other. He says that she was interested in him and his life and made him feel likable and lovable and interesting.
Well, that's nice.
Sounds like he was really looking for someone to pay attention to him. Maybe the divorce was pretty nasty and he was...
Maybe they were just friends.
They just started out being really good friends. And... I don't think it picked that up, but we'll have to put that on here.
Eric just played the video clip of Bobby Hill saying that's my purse.
I don't know you. I may not know the episode, but I can do a mean Bobby Hill. So we know this Eric Larson guy. He's middle-aged. He's divorced. He's out of work at the moment because he was injured. And he's lonely, and the other person on the other end of the computer just totally fed on these facts. So after chatting via Messenger for about 2 months, she told Eric that she broke her cell phone. And she told him that she couldn't afford to buy a new one because she was a student and she was in school all the time and she wasn't working.
Oh,
so she couldn't afford to buy herself one, but she really needed a cell phone.
Money, please.
So Eric, being the nice guy that he was, decided to help her, and he sent her $1,000 to buy a new one.
That's a nice cell phone.
A nice cell phone for someone that you don't know and have never met. So she requested that this money be sent through Western Union, but she asked that it be sent to a different name than the one she was using.
That's not suspicious at all.
But though this person that was going to he was going to send the money to, was just going to give her the money so she could buy the phone.
Seems legit.
Totally. No, nothing weird about that at all. But then she needed more money to pay for these cell phone bills. But they're not really talking on the cell phone back and forth. They're just messaging on Facebook. So these bills that she's racking up are not with him. So Larson said that they were exchanging selfies back and forth, but it was mainly via text on Facebook. And a couple of times they quote video chatted, but there was never any sound. They couldn't make the sound work between the two of them. She'd try to talk to him, but he could never hear any of it.
Interesting. But he could see her and she was
talking to him.
Oh.
So she,
How good is he at reading lips?
Well,
Does it make sense?
Probably not. And probably didn't watch a lot of porn because
Wait, what?
It turns out that these clips were actually from pornos
Oh my
with
God.
no sound.
What was she doing in these clips?
Well, I don't know what kind of porn it was, but according to Larson, he just never heard any sound. So we've got another giant red flag starting to wave. Her father gets murdered. So mystery student girlfriend was supposed to inherit $28 million.
But if you send me a money order.
Exactly.
No way, really?
Close. So Larson's lady, like, she's not going to need any more money from him to buy her cell phones because she's now a multimillionaire. But in order to get those millions, she has to fight for the money because she doesn't just get it like a check handed over to her, because her dad was actually involved in organized crime, and most of the money that was going to be hers came from these crimes. So she's kind of got to fight these attorneys and
Just give me your bank account information and I'll put it in your account.
But she doesn't have any money to fight these legal bills.
Oh, that's
so weird. Larson needs to help pay for those legal bills, which he did.
Again, seems legit.
Totally. So a lot of the money was sent through gift cards, mainly Amazon, and usually about $100 at a time.
You can get lawyers on Amazon?
There must be really good lawyers on Amazon. You can use Prime and get them to your house in 2 days. So he'd purchase these gift cards, and he'd actually like go into a store and buy them. Like, you know, on the like grocery stores, there's like racks and racks and racks of gift cards. He would buy like physical gift cards and take a picture of it so it shows the numbers. He'd probably scratch the back or whatever, and then message those numbers to her. So then as soon as she had those numbers, she could instantly access the money.
Wait. You said this is like fairly recent?
2018.
This guy's a freaking idiot. Like, you cannot blame it on him being old, because he's not that old.
He's 54.
He's plenty old enough to know better. Like, he is an idiot.
You would think so. Let's play a little game called The Price is Right. What amount do you think he spent on mystery lady student? My dad was killed by a crime affiliate in a year and a half. Okay. Now, closest without going over wins.
Okay. So he's buying her Amazon gift cards for her lawyer, right? So this is for legal fees somehow?
Legal fees. It's also for her phone bill.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And she needs money.
How often is he getting the quote unquote video chat, aka porn?
It doesn't say how often they were communicating, but he was sending her gift cards, pretty frequently.
I'm gonna say 50,000.
50. Mm-hmm. Eric? $1. $1, Bob. $1, Bob. 1 million. Okay, well, both of you are way over.
Oh, really?
But still, it's a lot of money. $13,000.
That is a lot of money.
That is a lot of money to just hand over to someone that you have never met.
It's more money than I have.
Oh, it's more money than I've ever had, practically. Well, he never mentioned this secret relationship to anyone. And I think the reason, a year and a half, you have a quote-unquote relationship with someone, you never mention her, is because he knew something was up. He knew something wasn't right. He knew that he was being taken advantage of, and maybe he was just too embarrassed to admit it.
Where did she live in comparison to him?
I don't know. And I don't even know what name she went by. A lot of the information is very hidden. He's finally coming out with this information because he kind of doesn't want other people to get screwed over like he did. But anyways, so at one point, Eric is totally struggling financially because I mentioned he was injured at work, so he was out of work for a while. And she somehow convinced him to apply for a Target credit card, which he did.
Again, the lawyers, the cell phone bills. That seems to make sense.
I need to go to Target. What he did, he got her the Target, or he bought the Target card, and that same day that he got it, and who knows what his credit limit was, that same exact day he got it, he maxed it out, buying her more and more gift cards.
Oh, okay. So he got the Target card to get more gift cards.
Right.
Not to give to her.
Right. But regardless, I mean, what is it? I mean, even if you only have a $500 credit limit, you spend that $500 that same day you get the card? I mean, yikes. So he even took out loans, and she asked him to open a bank account for her. Like, hey, let me just get on your bank account.
When is she supposed to get these millions from her crime
From her
dad?
You know, who knows? Probably when the Amazon guys, lawyers show up. So he told her, though, like, I don't have enough money to open a separate bank account for you. But she's like, you know what? Let me help with that. So let me wire you a check that will help kind of get this bank account started and established. And then once the bank account is opened under your name with my access, then, you know, this $2,000 check or however much check I'm going to send is going to work. But I'm not going to send the check directly to you. Give me your bank information, and then I will contact the bank directly and get it deposited.
This is every Craigslist scam ever.
So, what does Eric Larson, 54, divorced after 20 years, do?
You're not old enough to be this stupid.
He gives her his bank information.
Must have been some good porn.
With no sound, and yeah. So she gets access to this account because the fake check actually did show up at the bank somehow. But the account had already been had already received over $2,000 in overdraft fees.
$2,000 in overdraft fees? How do you even do that?
Well, you figure what? $25 for every
right?
I can't do that math, but 25
Eric, do that math.
into 2,000 is.
But why they don't let you continue to make those overdrafts?
Well, if you do it all in one day.
That's insane.
Before they catch you and stop you, I guess. I don't know.
I fortunately have only overdrafted a few times in my life.
I've racked up some. How many
times?
So
80 transactions.
Yeah, she made over 80 transactions then. Or 80?
80 if it was only the overdraft fees. She could have had
No, but
plus $80.
But the $2,000 is in overdraft fees alone.
Oh, so 80 transactions.
Yeah.
That's insane.
A lot.
Sounds like a little midget I used to know.
So at this point, he's like, oh, maybe something's up, you know?
Oh, maybe now?
Maybe there's something going on with this check.
Her prime lawyer didn't show up?
So he asked her, like, hey, mystery girlfriend that I don't know, but that I met on Facebook.
That I've never actually talked to.
Can you send me another selfie of yourself? Because I just, I'd like to see you again. And it's been a while since you sent me a picture. The picture he receives is a totally different person. So now, what he's going to do.
Dude.
He's
person,
like,
I'm calling it now.
It's some guy, some random guy. So he's like, okay, what is going on? I've got to get this person to stop. So he decides he's going to make up his own story. And he's like, I was injured at work, so I have to go and get this like super sketchy, scary surgery to make myself all better. And I'm not going to be able to talk to you on Facebook and whatever for a while because it's going to take me a while to recover. So his thought is once he stops responding to her messages, she's just going to think he's dead. Like, that's the best way to get rid of her.
What?
That's his great plan.
Oh my God, this guy.
So
I thought he was gonna say like, hey, that money I loaned you, I really need to get an Amazon surgeon. So if you could send me some gift cards back, that would be great.
Because I need to pay for my surgery. No, he's just gonna die. So Larson contacts the FBI about his secret student with the multimillionaire dead dad that was involved in organized crime girlfriend, and finds out that, quote, she might have been a he or a group of he's. So there's these people, which you and I know, that kind of feed on these sad, lonely people. And a lot of them are overseas, and their whole goal is just to scam people out of their money. So Larson, unfortunately, will most likely never see any of the money that he sent again.
Of course
He's
not.
totally out of it. But his goal now is to just tell people his story because he wants them to know, like, hey, there's lots of scammers out there, and wants to help them get out of trouble before they get into it. And a quote from him says, "It's amazing how deeply they get into your head and your heart with Facebook messages. I know I'm not the only divorced, middle-aged man that's lonely and wants someone to talk to."
Oh, that's really sad.
It is really sad. And obviously, whoever was on the other end of these Facebook messages knew that he was really sad and just looking for a friend. And unfortunately, he lost a lot of money because of it. But some little facts I found, if you kind of do get caught into some scam like this, the average median reported loss, like what people kind of lose before they realize they're being scammed, is $2,600.
What?
And I mean, that's just like the average. So, I mean,
That's
not
the average. That's a lot for an average.
well, it's absolutely a lot for an average, but you would hope that not that many people were being scammed.
Yeah, I would hope so.
However, here's another little fact for you. Last year, people reported losing $143 million to romance-related scams. So that's actually a higher dollar amount than any other type of scam.
I wonder how they define that, though.
A romance reported,
Mm-hmm.
um,
And it's scams specifically?
specifically
Okay.
scams.
Because I was going to say, like, people spend a lot of money on cam girls.
No, these are scams. These are specific scams, not cams, scams. And this is just what's reported. So how many of those people are like too embarrassed to even?
Reported.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who they asked. Nobody asked me how much I lost.
Well, no one asked me for money, so. But those that are 70 and older, tend to be of the higher scam related
Yeah, see,
loss.
I give them a pass. Like, they don't know as much. But Eric over there, he should know better.
He's young enough to know better. But he got scammed, and the 70 and older, this is just the mid-range, is $10,000.
Holy shit.
Some of them have even reported like upwards of hundreds of thousands. So a lot of these people aren't just losing their life savings. They take on new debt just to help pay for these scams. They'll take out like equity on their homes. They open multiple credit cards. They'll get like payday loans just to help somebody else out because they need help medically, quote, or to get a cell phone, or to pay for their student loans, or to pay for their Amazon Prime lawyers to get their multi-millions. These scammers have been known to scam like 25 people or more all at once. So they're talking to not just Eric Larson, but Eric Larson and 14 plus of his friends.
Sure.
One of the things that I thought was really interesting was to use like Google reverse Google image.
Yeah. I was going to mention that.
Or just take a text, say they wrote you a paragraph, copy and paste that paragraph into a Google and to see where else that comes up.
These are the catfishing skills that MTV taught us.
Exactly. 100%.
It's a great show, by the way.
So, out of all of that sadness and just depression, I wanted to give a little fun story about using the internet to find a relationship.
Oh.
So Matthew and Colleen, they're from Charlotte, North Carolina. They were using Bumble, and they were matched in 2017.
How does Bumble work? Do you know?
I think it's swiping.
Is it?
Yeah, because they talk about like, oh, I swiped left when I should have swiped right, and now my lost love is gone forever.
Because there's one of them, and I thought it might be Bumble, where the girl has to initiate the conversation.
Oh, I don't know that much.
Okay.
I've never been on Bumble. I actually tried to get on the website, but you have to like create an account and everything, and I didn't want to go that far.
Okay.
So anyways, Matthew and Colleen, on their first date, so this is a little backstory from them. They're both former college athletes. So they're like, oh, for our first date, let's just go for a run together.
That sounds awful. Don't go out with that person. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Don't go.
Let's
trap.
run together.
No.
Let's run far
horrible.
together. So they're like, yeah, that sounds great. And so on that run, Colleen, she actually gets like this horrible nosebleed to the point of where there's like blood all over her, and then there's blood all over him. And
why did it get on him?
maybe he was trying to help her.
Don't do that.
She's
You
bleeding.
don't know her. You don't want her blood on you.
Well, apparently he was a gentleman and got her bloody nose snot all over him.
It's disgusting.
And then they're like, you know what? We have sweat. We've run. We deserve to go get some food. So in their bloody,
go all
sweaty
bloody?
clothes.
Don't serve them. You're not allowed in this establishment.
No shirt, no shoes, no blood.
Yes, that's freaking disgusting.
Well, Colleen thought it was like just a pity meal. Like she was super embarrassed, and she didn't think she was ever going to hear from Matthew again because like her bloody nose issue. But on his drive home, Matthew called one of his buddies and said, I'm going to marry this girl.
Creepy.
And a
Red
year
flag
and a
number 3.
half later, Matthew proposed to her. That's sweet. Bloody nose and all. I hope their wedding
Disgusting.
cake has like a big nose on it or something.
Maybe she'll get a nosebleed on her wedding day.
Gross.
That's
Okay, so one more little Bumble fun story. It's Bumble BFF.
wait. That first story, was that like on their main website?
Like a success story.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
I love
They
it.
should not put
I
that
love
as an
it.
advertisement for their website. Nobody, no.
So let me tell you about Lexi. She moved from Southern California to Portland, Oregon for a job promotion that she got.
Okay.
And she knew no one. She's moving to this new state, new city, and I have no friends. And she actually went on Bumble BFF, and which is like a site just to meet people, like to be friends with, not to date, just to like hang out with.
Oh, okay.
Because it's hard to meet people.
Mm-hmm.
And so she matched with this other girl who was originally from Southern California named Jamie. And they decided to meet up for margaritas one night. And after their first friend date, they felt like they had been friends for years, and they laughed and had a lot in common. And a little bit later, they added 2 more friends that they met from Bumble BFF, Amber and Alex. And so now there's these 4 girls who all met on this friend site, and they often go out for drinks. They do outdoor activities together, and they've even done goat yoga together, which I'm so jealous about.
Fun. I want to do that.
And they say that they're really great friends. They have big plans for their friendships. Like they all want to go skydiving together, and they want to rent a house for a weekend, and possibly even travel outside the country together. And just, I guess, recently, like a little update they did, they met another girl named Christy. So their little friendship group, which they call the Beehive because they met on Bumble,
Oh, that's cute.
is growing. And it's because of this little matching page. And, I mean, I guess it's hard to meet people.
It is, as an adult.
It is.
As an adult, when you're no longer in school and you work full time.
And if you don't like the people that you work with.
Right. I like the people I work with now, but I see the people that I work with now once every month, and the rest of the time I'm by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I could totally see that.
Well,
That's
and
super cool.
And I am lucky that most of my friends are all my friends from high school. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
have a
weird.
whole lot. No, it's super weird.
It's super
That's not
weird.
normal at
Yeah.
all. I don't have a lot of like new friends.
And then
They're
you
all high
married
school.
your high school
Ex-
boyfriend,
yeah.
too, which is also super weird. So you don't have any experience with the whole online dating.
None.
thing, but,
None.
and you know, it's fun. It's creepy, but it's fun.
So where did you meet your fiance again?
Plenty o fish.
.com.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yep.
There's another success.
sure did.
Another success
I mean,
story.
there was quite a few.
Not
before.
good.
Yeah. There's the one that sounded. Oh, speaking of King of the Hill, so this one guy, it seemed like whatever. He seems pretty normal, but like kind of interesting. We have a few things in common. We're gonna go get some coffee, and they show up. And I swear to God, he sounded like Boomhauer.
No.
The number of times.
And the number of times is
What? Huh? Okay.
Like that? That was how your whole date?
I don't know.
You really couldn't understand
I
him?
didn't. He sounded like Boomhauer. He really did. And I don't remember if I asked him where he was from. I don't think he was from California. If he was, he had some serious speech issues.
He should have been in.
He was probably from like Texas or something. He had like a thick accent
That you just couldn't understand.
Could not understand a word he was
So how many
saying.
other times did you go out with him?
That was the one and only.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agreed to go out with him again. I couldn't tell you.
Because you couldn't understand if he even asked you. Oh, jeez.
But yeah.
That's amazing.
Let's are you ready to pick a new topic?
Oh, yeah.
Are we good?
Let's pick a topic for next.
It's your turn. I picked the last one.
Oh, I'm getting another signal from our producer,
Oh,
Eric,
jeez.
over here. He's giving me the signal to check my
He's
phone.
like, this is all trash. Delete it. Get rid of it. Start
Eric, you
again.
didn't send me anything.
Subjects and group. Is you and your sister.
Subjects.
My phone's dead. I can't read anything.
Oh, Eric, there it is. No, I just have a whole bunch of. Oh, you want me to pick one of those topics? So Eric has sent me a list of
Jeez.
like
Pick
70 different. No, because his are like this. No, I can't even read some of
Wait,
these.
I want to see.
I can't even read some
Okay,
of those.
I'll read them.
No, you can't.
Oh no, I can't. Oh my God.
No, find one you can read. Find just one you can read.
Miley Cyrus is a tool of the Obama administration. I don't even know who. Pokemon Go is a government spying program.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Cosby, Oprah, and others forced Dave Chappelle off the air. No. He just did a special not that long ago.
Because Cosby's in jail.
Oh, because Cosby's in jail, he says. The Catcher in the Rye is a trigger for... Oh, that's interesting. I never read The Catcher in the Rye. Maybe I'm an assassin. The Illuminati controls the minds of countless celebrities. That I could believe. Sure.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Tom Clancy is a part of the 9/11 cover-up.
Tom Clancy? It's quite possible. He's
Brittany
pretty genius.
Murphy as part of the Homeland Security cover.
Where did you find all of these? He must have been on
Joan
some weird
Rivers
conspiracy
was
site.
killed for joking that most...
Wait, Joan Rivers is alive.
No, she's not.
She's dead?
Yes.
Oh, oops.
She went in for like a
botched Botox or something like that.
It was like
She was killed.
it was
Some
something
routine plastic surgery.
It wasn't routine. There's no such thing as routine
For
plastic
Joan Rivers?
surgery.
For Joan Rivers,
No.
there absolutely was.
It was like a throat thing.
No, I think it was a plastic surgery gone wrong.
I think it was just like a throat thing that
Let's
was
put
supposed to be like outpatient.
Let's put a shot on it.
Okay.
Whoever got it wrong has to take an extra shot.
Okay. I think that's what it was, and it was it was something.
Eric, look it up.
extra.
How did Joan Rivers die?
Give it a big-
While you look that up,
jeez.
our next topic of Ripple Pod is hoax gone wrong,
Oh, I like that one.
which is going to be fun.
Yeah, that'll be really fun.
Yeah, I like it.
Sounds like a plan. I don't know any off the top of my head.
No, I don't either, but that's going to be good research.
Yeah, for sure.
How did Joan Rivers die? There was some crazy Jeopardy on.
Wait.
It says
Let's ask your
went
phone.
in for a routine procedure that had complications that she died from.
But was it a routine plastic surgery, which is not a real thing that Rosa thinks it was?
Totally was.
Ask it. Your phone normally talks to
Lack
us.
of oxygen in
Well,
the brain.
But what kind of?
pretty general.
Okay, I'm looking it up. This is really good podcast material right now. Cause of death: cerebral
What's that word?
hypos.
Let me see.
HYPOXIA.
I can't visualize that.
Oh, why? You can't visualize things? Can we make?
Hypoxia.
Okay, well that's a good word for you.
That's so passive aggressive. Is that my word of the week? Hypoxia.
It doesn't say.
No way.
We'll have to find out and do some.
No, it's. Is this to be continued?
It might be.
It was like something to do with her throat. I mean, she had that scratchy voice.
She died of low blood oxygen during a procedure to evaluate voice changes and reflux.
Yes, see? I win. You do a shot.
Damn it.
It was not plastic surgery.
Damn it.
It was definitely not routine plastic
Damn
surgery.
it. Here's another one. Can I brush my teeth before endoscopy? How much is Joan Rivers worth? That's what's in the middle of those Joan Rivers searches. Anyway. Okay. So next week. Hoax gone wrong.
First, do your shot.
Damn it.
Before we're done recording.
Mm.
That was actually another topic that I kind of wanted to do of our random ass topics that we come up with.
Plastic surgery gone wrong?
Oh, no, but that's a good one. But things that people ask Google and ask Yahoo. Have you ever gone to like Ask Yahoo? I think I talked to you about this before.
Ask Jeeves?
No. The Yahoo questions where people post their weird
Oh, yes.
questions.
Yeah. We did
I
talk
don't
about
know
that.
how we could work that into a podcast, but I want to.
That would be super fun.
We'll have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll be a special episode.
Yeah. In our Ripple secret stash, along with Angela's I'm drunk and slurring.
I'm not.
No.
Oh.
That episode.
I see.
I know
Okay.
Hoax that ended badly.
You know a hoax that ended badly?
Okay,
What
so
was
we
it?
might have Eric on our next episode.
Do you
Actually
want to be
speaking.
on our next episode? Do you want to do a story?
Oh, he's shaking his head big no.
Well, tell me what it is.
So, you know the St. Francis Dam
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
that collapsed?
The St. Francis Dam that collapsed.
That
Yes.
wasn't a hoax.
1928.
1928.
After that, two kids went up to the
The
wreckage,
tombstone
the tombstone,
that was remaining.
and one of the kids found a dead snake
Mm-hmm.
and thought it would be funny to throw it at the other kid. The other
And
kid
he
didn't know
fell
it was
off
dead
and died.
Hoax gone wrong.
Oh,
That's a sad one.
that is really sad.
Well, if it went wrong, it's not happy.
No, but some of them are kind of funny.
Nah, he
Yeah.
died.
Okay. Well, until next week,
Be a fountain.
not a drain.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.